the people are heartless. Okay, but you guys know these people. They've done it for the whole history of the world because they know Western liberal democracies.
Just promise me you're not a Zionist.
They're gonna be like, yeah, this is wrong, but they don't understand what the soldiers are coming to. I always pray for the soldiers of Vietnam.
Chick used to pray for the soldiers of Vietnam? What the fuck is this guy talking about?
God would have destroyed me. I cannot imagine that. That's what they've done this a long time ago. And that's what's so hard to win these wars, because they do that to everybody. It's a horrible.
Yeah.
Good one, Chick. Good ad, Chick. Wow, another banger.
I've shared this sentiment with Beaver before, which is I don't believe the propaganda on both sides when it comes to Palestine, Israel. I feel like both sides, and it makes people like me, I don't have no skin in the game per se, of what to believe, right? So it's like, all right, you read an article, then you research the source of the article, then you do 2 or 3 extra links to see, okay, what is true, what is not true, and then it's like, okay, then it's frustrating to me sometimes that on both sides of that issue is people will only see one side and not even have the actual conversation. So if you oppose it in any capacity, one side or the other, you're automatically, anti-Semite, or you're automatically Islamophobe. It's like, no, this is what I'm seeing, experiencing. I don't understand it, but I think that's one big problem that we have in the United States is like we're being flooded with propaganda, and it's hard to get out of that, in particular, like your said algorithms, And then it's almost to the point, like, what do you believe then? So it's like, all right, people think they're like, wait, you listen to Candace so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to her. I don't agree on everything that she says, but I like the fact that she asks questions. Like, okay, she's an adulthood in that capacity. And I feel like in this topic in particular, I think we all need to kind of like, ask questions and not listen to like all of the propaganda.
I'll tell you what I feel about this topic. I think there's no such thing as a Palestinian. I think they're Arab, they're Jordanian. There's an Arab state and a Jewish state. The Jews are separate. From 1948 until 1967. The Palestinians could not even declare the state in so-called occupied West Bank, which was occupied by Jordan at the time. I'm sick of these Arabs occupying most of the reason. If I was Israel, I would just take the Judean Samaria, which is the West Bank, because I've been there, and just apply permanently and deal with this question. They can fuck off. Because it's like, people will use this question. Anti-Semitism was there before the state of Israel. You had a whole Holocaust, So, like, in my opinion, they need to deal with it once and for all. Anti-Semitism is such a disease. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And, Israel, I feel like, you know what, fuck these people, they're gonna hate me anyway. Take the whole thing and apply something. America took California. They took New Mexico, New Mexico. But I want them to take the whole thing and just tell the Arabs that it's not off. Honestly.
Here's what I'll say, and it's probably controversial, but I don't really care anymore. I'm so sick of the Zionist narrative in America, and I'm not pro-Muslim either. I don't want any country. I don't want the USA entangled with any country the way it is with Israel, because we have a lot of Jews in this country that are prominent in many industries and politics, which is totally fine and more power to them. They're very smart people, very successful. But when they start to show allegiance in our policy towards a certain country over there and show even more deference to that country, it seems like it's like, hold on a minute, we're fucking Americans first and foremost. So that's where I'm starting to like just realize like what the fuck is going on here. I don't I don't want anybody to die,
That's
especially.
fair.
Yeah, I don't want any innocent people to die over there. I don't want anybody to die, but I don't want to be wrapped up. And it's if you just have any questions about it, it's you're anti-Semitic or you're Islamophobic or whatever.
But that's not true. Fuck, Israel is a fucking shit show. Half of the fucking nation was out there protesting fucking government injustice and judicial reforms and civil rights. They were marching in the streets with a car. They had their own BLM protests. Those fucking twat waffles over there have no sense of what the fuck they're doing either. They're about to have their civil war and civil rights.
Israel's gonna have a civil war. Wow, Brad.
You got a whole host of problems. I don't think we should be involved in the extent that it should be, and I frankly don't give a fuck one way or the other. Because Israel is Israel. I put them on the category of England, France, Germany, Spain,
No, it's
Belgium.
not on there. You just don't want
Give me another Brazil,
hater.
Mexico. They're problematic. Canada, they're just
Israel and Canada. Same shit. You don't give a fuck.
Because we do kind of similar shit with other countries. Frankly, I don't like Canada.
Not into that same level.
I gotta
So,
say, I agree with them. I don't like
when
Canadians
my late
either.
husband would deploy on what they call West packs, it's
Just
Western
kidding.
Pacific.
I love Canadians.
on
Come
a-
on, you
a
guys are
naval ship
great.
carrier
Yeah,
group.
great.
It would always spend so much time in the Middle East and in the Red Sea, and I'm like, well I was like, babe, why do you do that? He's like, well, we have to keep a presence there. There's always two news floating around the world globally, Marine Expeditionary Units, one on one side of the globe, the other on the other side. And they're like, we're there. It's because of also the intel. Because we know there's parts of the world, such areas of the world that have a higher propensity towards violence and hate toward the United States and our interests. So we always go to have an actual presence. That's why he did training with the Jordanian army. He's actually met the king of the Jordanian or Jordan.
Hey, voila.
They're like, we purposely do that.
Voila.
Trying to do a posturing
Hey, voila.
for the other countries.
Grace, I
in
just
that
wish I had
region
some
to
potato
basically
chips.
Say, okay.
It's the only thing I'm missing
There
right now
we
is
have
some
other
potato
Arabic
chips.
nations
Yeah, sorry, I have
and
some.
countries in this area, and to include states, that are invested
Mixed
and,
nuts just
will
is
agree
not
with
the
us
carbs
and
I
don't
need
have an
right now. I
issue with us
really
being
need some
basically what he's
potato
telling me was
chips.
it was just
Having
posturing. And they've been
Oh.
doing that for decades. Because I asked him, like, well, do you know
It's
how long they've been
11:36
doing that? He
here.
goes, I don't know. He goes,
This could go on.
decades. He goes,
This
I
could go on
actually
for
have to
hours.
dig in and see, like, what the actual,
Unbelievable. How did you find this room?
the operational
It's,
training regimen
From
scheduling
Beaver,
was
he
for,
puts together
in that
these
actual
racist
region.
spaces
like,
with
way
Pepe.
before. He's like, it was way before the Cold War. It was even during,
Bye, Callie.
Vietnam and
Come
Korean
back.
War. It's like, that's just how it's always been, and it's basically because of that. But the intel, that
Mute up, Mike. Mute up, Mike.
Yeah, what's up with all the insults?
Mute up, Mike. Because you're a dummy.
Bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah, I didn't insult
You've
you.
been saying this shit for the last 2 days. Pay attention.
Yeah,
Pay
why?
attention. Instead of trying to disrespect a woman on stage, pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Who did I disrespect? Did
No,
I disrespect?
Patty on that vodka tonight.
Shut the fuck up, Mike. You was
didn't
just
disrespect
trying
anybody,
to.
man.
You was
Patty
just trying
drinking
to
that
uncomfortable.
vodka tonight. Patty, take it easy on the vodka, Patty.
You were quiet. And instead, you wanted to come for our neck, talking about some fucking Democrats, whatever.
Who's
Talking
neck? I
over.
didn't come for your
When you
neck.
should have paid attention.
How
Biden was
did I
what the fuck
come for
Biden
your
was
neck,
doing.
man?
Biden was gonna go to their houses and steal their records. Biden was gonna go to their houses.
I mean, Patty, you can't break this room and break news.
Mike P was
Relax.
the one who got his videos.
Oh, Lord. There you go.
Submit something after you Google it and read.
Oh, Lord.
See, we had to get on. See, we have got to get on Amari. One thing about Amari, it may have
Oh,
took
the
a couple of months,
racists are
but the
coming in.
motherfucker's starting to try to read something before he opens his goddamn mouth. You have not learned yet, brother. You are the dumbest motherfucker in the room right now.
Patty, calm down. You gotta calm down now. The insults are just way too much.
No, it's the truth. It's the
No, it's
equal the pressures on your
I'm
ass.
not doing it. Fuck this
You guys not hear this
shit
shit?
at all.
Yeah, learn how to have a
Fuck this
conversation without
shit.
being.
This Sunday, we need to get every tailgater a Pepsi to add one
I'm
to
just-
flavor. Maybe one for
You didn't.
you.
You didn't put the
You got it.
Bro, listen. You didn't put the
We're distributors. We're not sitting still. We're over here charging for cost prior to distribution.
Don't fuck with my distribution costs. I'm making a lousy $2.15 per segment. I'm already deficiting $25 grand a week with Metro. I'm paying William-Morris 10% off the top. And I'm giving this turkey $10 per segment, another 5 for this fruitcake. And Helen, don't start no shit with me about a piece again. I'm paying Metro 20% for all foreign and Canadian distribution, and that's after recoupment. The Communist Party's not gonna see a nickel out of this goddamn show till we go into syndication.
Come on, Marie, the party's in for 7,500 a week reduction.
I'm not giving this pseudo-insurrectionary sectarian a piece of my show. I'm not giving them script approval, and I sure as shit ain't cutting them into my distribution charges. You fucking fascist! Can you see the film we made of San Marino jailbreak out demonstrating the rising up of the Seminole prisoner class infrastructure? You can blow the Seminole prisoner class infrastructure out your ass! I'm not knocking down my goddamn distribution charges!
Man, give her the fucking overhead clause.
Let's get back to page 22. 5, small a, subsidiary rights.
Where are we now? Page 22, middle of the page, subsidiary rights. As used herein, subsidiary rights means, without limitation, any and all rights.
That's a movie clip from the movie Network.
I totally forgot. I love that.
It sounded like her room, didn't it?
It sounded exactly like her room. You totally had me fooled.
Miss Lisa, are you off mute? On mute, or you told us to wait? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said you guys could talk. I had to re-cue it because when we were arguing, I put my finger on it and lost it.
Got it.
Welcome back, Devin, to England.
So was she
Racist.
Michael,
Lonely.
are you hearing any other people that's going to come out in the next couple, like anybody else in those emails?
No, I mean, it's, you know, they're releasing these things and they release them. So no, I haven't heard any like advanced stuff. It's just the fact that we have the 218 signatures now and they can send this thing to a vote. So, but no, I don't have any other advanced information.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to see if Prince Andrew gonna be in there because he quit or he left. So I'm assuming there's gonna be other shoes to drop with other people.
Is this a movie or this is somebody else?
Stuff. So he was stripped of his titlehood. His monthly stipend that he gets from the taxpayers is gone. He was stripped of his cottage on Frogmore. So all of him and Fergie. So everything is gone. No. That's not how that worked. Everything was taken from him, from the king. No, absolutely not. I just want to make sure we clarify that because I am still also a dual citizen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very little.
Is the reason why I call it like a horror religion because it consumes you. You don't have like, well, on this day I'm going to go to church and after that I'm going to the club and just do my culturally type of thing. It takes away your culture and it's a horror type of religion where it consumes your everyday. It controls what you eat, like beyond, and it's very effective. And I think that the people around that time period, we've seen what happened with the radicalization of Germany, and we've seen what was happening and the potential of what.
Me and like 30 people, we just stood in a circle and started like humming and chanting like, "This is the sound of our souls." And we like stomped our feet and like came up with like, and just sing and like, they all stood like howling and singing, and it was really like, we all felt communally bonded to it.
Just soundproof, because these new buildings, they're like...
Honey, you'll be safe. Just stay on Clubhouse.
Honestly, we'll guide you.
Nobody could hurt you while you're on Clubhouse.
Nobody could hurt me anyway, Al.
I used to date this girl, Pearl.
You know what? You should send me your address just
For a
in case I
weekend.
call the police because we hear so afraid to enter.
Oh my god. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but
You
when
can't
you
hear her masturbating
let me
either.
ask you a question. In this case, let's say, God forbid, something does happen like this.
God forbid.
And you
Yeah,
call
I'd have to explain to the police what Clubhouse is. Yes.
No, it's not. When you call in 911, it's gonna call in your local 911. How are you gonna guide them all the way to that 911?
I would call 911 and her.
I'm just making a point that they do know who some of these people are. That's all.
When they blow it, if they die in the act of war against you, right? Because you're infidel, the man will get 40 virgins when he
The U.S. dollar is the only currency that people want to use. They don't want to use the local currency, and because of that, it causes huge problems with the government. Who's this with the eyes, man? Fuck you. Go ahead and say what you gotta say, Mr. Eyes.
Hold on, I think there's a point of contention here, right? You're saying that they're giving actual real dollars, right? And Lowe is saying that it wasn't actual real dollars, but rather.
Why are you bringing up my name? I wasn't in that conversation between you.
No, because
who's giving who real dollars?
You spoke first. You spoke about
I didn't mention. I didn't. Okay, go ahead.
There's an underground economy out there where U.S. dollars are, they're heavily valued because of the exchange rate. So the exchange rate, what is it? I don't know, $1,500 to $1. It changes a lot,
Since when do you care? When do you guys care about the billions of dollars being sent out to different countries? Wasn't we just sending billions to Mozambique for condoms and transgender reassignment surgery? We sending billions for that. We don't have a problem. Not you, 80 baby. I'm just saying.
I look into these international economies as places that I might want to start a business or possibly even go and settle down. And because I've had the same feelings as everyone has, it's like, what if America isn't safe in the future? What if, right? To be honest, I don't think we have anything to worry about. But I always like to look at an exit strategy.
They finished up their process really fast, so a judge let them off. That's what A-Check was saying. I think this is the article.
That's crazy.
So they were let go because. So it wasn't. They. Oh, it was refugee rapist. Oh, you didn't say refugee.
It's because the guy came too fast, and it was because he was black. That's why they let him.
Oh my lord. Did they?
I don't know how that happens. That's amazing.
Well, I don't know. I don't live in Europe. I just know what I've experienced, what I've seen in Europe, in particular, and the UK.
We got an A-line in the room.
4 years, like 3 or 4 times a year for
Clubhouse
work.
make that money.
But do you or others, in particular with this article, I guess I missed the conversation about the article. Do you think that there is a problem with immigrants and refugees not assimilating or understanding or adhering to the local rules and laws, in particular violence towards women and children, right?
Because immigrants rape white women and other people or any women. They rape like they do in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, and everything else like that. It's a horrible thing. I don't understand why you white countries let this immigrant from these disgusting shithole countries.
Well, A-Check said, you said that one of the refugees told the police he didn't
I
know
love
he didn't realize rape was illegal.
perspective and position. Like,
do they know?
he's like the guy with all the answers.
And then he was like, it's my wife.
I mean, is he like running for office or something?
He's also a racist fool.
Should we allow that to be an excuse? Like it's their culture, It's their religion. It's their culture.
It's like this guy's just like, you know, sweeping up in some warehouse or something, having this conversation, right?
You gotta learn the rules, especially something that's just inherently.
They are so
Don't you know inherently to do something like that is wrong? I mean,
They're stupid. It's a waste of time.
Culturally, it could be, or within written on certain sects of certain religions, that could be.
Oh, Nicholas, welcome to Angry,
what they only know,
racist,
right? We don't know, but when you come over to a
lonely,
different country,
depressed men of Clubhouse,
or a refugee,
you're listening to a bunch
there needs
of
to be some sort of
angry,
assimilation or
very
validation of
racist,
understanding what
extremely lonely men.
their new land is
They
going
are
to be.
depressed. They have no love in their life.
I don't know. What do they offer them that?
And then they have
I'm
little
not sure
KK
what they
here to be the female
UK,
voice
but,
for what's lacking
I
in
don't
their
think they
souls.
even do
Welcome,
that
Nicholas.
here in the United States, but I think people in the United States, they would tell you, okay, you shouldn't be doing that
This is
shit.
our back end
right?
roast
Their own
of the
people
room
within their own
live.
ethnic group that
This is
they
our
find
Mystery
them
Science
wherever they
Clubhouse
are,
Theater
right?
3000.
You can't do that, but I don't like the, oh, well, they didn't know clause. That's where I have a problem with it.
It's a great topic, but I mean, tell you this, right? In the United States, if somebody makes an application to come here to the United States and
We are supposed to personally place Glasgow, but we don't.
Your reason would apply equally to both, but I'm saying like there's a further reason to believe in Islam if Islam is true, which is that it has like some very material consequences, right? Certainly true for Christianity, right? That if Christianity is true and you don't believe in Christianity, you're kind of fucked, right? So if it's true, you certainly should want to believe it's true. That's like I don't think the same degree.
You're not getting into Canada. You have a felony or domestic violence charge at all. Shit, you're not getting into Canada.
If I'm a pedophile in this country, in one of these countries, and they catch me just in that local precinct, it's going to have my physical paper file. Now, when I make the application to these other countries, 9 times out of 10, nobody's going by there to look it up to that specific small little part of the country. And when they don't even ask, they don't have any lie detector tests. They don't have a professional interrogator. Most of these people are first generation places where they're coming from anyway. So they have some type of like leeway on it, and so it's really a broken system. When somebody can go into somebody else's country in a 3-minute interview, okay, come on in. Now that's crazy.
So the citizenship test, I've taken it online. They ask what is the Bill of Rights? Who was the first president? What is Congress? How many senators are elected? Is rape illegal? Are you allowed to have sex with a 13-year-old? Stuff that's common sense. Because that, I don't think it's irrelevant if they didn't know. But should it be the onus be on them to know?
You know what is, it's not funny, but anywho, it's like, even when I'm in London, and there is a season of time that there's a lot of Arabs in the area, and I usually stay in Knightsbridge, which is close to like Mayfair, Buckingham, Hyde Park, that whole area, right? And when I go to a restaurant and I'm sitting, close to a table of all Arab men, they won't even they'll sneer at me, they look at me up and down, like Judge Judy eyeballs and everything, and I'll just oh, sorry, excuse me, and they won't even acknowledge any of that. And I'm like, well, okay, well, fuck you then. Right? I don't care, but it's you're visiting, and you still have these foundational ways of interacting with people like they're less than. Right? That's what I find problematic, especially if you expect us to change our ways and culture to be in your area of the country, but then it's not reciprocated. So during COVID, I had to go to work for Fight Island with the UFC. And when I went there, I had to go through this whole briefing, this whole Zoom call briefing. I realized I'm a whore and I had to get all different clothes, like my shoulders. I was paranoid about it. They're like, no, this is what the women have to do. And we're basically going to be confined at the W Hotel, but it's a cool hotel and da-da-da-da-da. It's just like, oh shit, I was actually nervous for it and thinking like, okay, this is what we got to do. But when they come into other parts of the world, they feel like, oh no, I can rape a person. It's part of my culture. Everyone needs to just step aside. But we have to be very ginger about honoring their beliefs that are different, even though they don't reciprocate that same respect in places that are not of their homeland.
Because that's what they do. They're ashamed of nothing. They just want to transform everything to there. And it's a horrible thing because it's like, yeah, like if you love Pakistan so much, stay in Pakistan. I went to London. London looks like Pakistan. It's horrible. I can't even see any British people in London. And it's a horrible place.
Yeah, it definitely has evolved. It definitely has evolved in the past, I would say, 3 years. And you can see it even just from last year, a year and a half ago to a year and a half to almost 2 years ago to this past winter, it was vastly changed. Like they were telling me, like, okay, no, you can't wear your purse on the outside of your coat. You got to do a crossbody, put your purse across you, and then put your coat on top of it so people on the street don't actually see your purse. And like, don't check your time on your watch. Don't bring your rollie, okay? You have to be careful in every capacity. Like, don't count money. You can't even hold your phone out. Like, all of these things. And are you serious? And sure as shit, I think I wrote this in the chat, like, this past summer, Beaver. The one place that I stay in, Knightsbridge, One Park Tower. It's right across from the Mandarin Oriental in London, in SW1. A man was murdered outside for his Rolex outside of the hotel that I always stay in. It's just like, okay, yeah, all right. It's changed for sure, but the demographic, for sure. That's why I know. And I was talking to a black cab. You guys, I don't know if people are aware, but the black cab drivers in London are iconic. And for them to be a black cab driver, you have to take the test.
That's true.
You have to take this test, and it's kind of an iconic cultural London thing, and they're treated with the utmost respect because they know every street, every side street, they have to be able to tell you in 2 seconds how to get to point A to point B and exactly what road that you take, whatever. So I've always taken black cabs because I feel like I'm supporting the local economy in that capacity, the Londoners, and they were telling us, like, okay, no, it's like, yeah, we have to be very picky now on who we pick up because now black cabs are being robbed. They're being robbed by migrants and refugees coming over here. It's like we will only take like 1 or 2 of them, and then at certain times of the night, and he's like, I hate to say that, but I have to do that. So even the black cab drivers are feeling the pressure over in London. I don't know how often you're there, I check, but I was surprised to hear that because they're usually so friendly, not even worried about.
No, I'm there like every 3 years, and then they told me, like, I went to London, and people are like, yeah, you have to be careful on this street. But I'm 6'4", and I'm black. I think that's why I didn't get robbed, because they probably thought I'm one of them. But it was just horrific, you know. We went there, and it's like, my missus, she was so terrified. She went out one night because I was poisoning, and these Arab Middle Eastern guys just kept harassing her, you know. So I just wanted to touch her and everything else like that. And I literally had to get out of bed to go pick her up because these guys are just like, they don't even know when a woman says no, you know? Like, fuck off. So like, I go there every 3 years. Those are some. I have my auntie. She lives in London, so I go to see her. But London is horrible. It's so violent. It's honestly, I'm lost for words. I don't know why the West is committing suicide. Why do you need Algerians in London or Moroccans or Somalis? You know, look at the red statistics and stuff, and it's like a woman 2 days ago in London, she got shot in the neck for no reason. And why? She was just walking in Birmingham, I think. And then another one in Birmingham, and they didn't say anything because it was black guy from like I think it was like Eritrea or Somalia or something. It's a horrible thing that's happening, and I think you guys you have to wisen up. There's a reason why these countries suck. It's not because it's like, yeah, well, colonialism, bullshit. Japan was weak twice, and Japan is a great country.
You still hate leftists more than you do Muslims, right?
I hate them both the same way.
Well, what changed from yesterday? You hate leftists just a little bit more.
A little bit more, but to be honest, they bring in the Muslims. So it's just a hard
Butterfly, I have to leave. I got to get up early in the morning, Melissa.
Okay, midnight's a great cutoff
Butterfly,
point.
thank you for doing this.
Okay, take care. Have a good night.
Take care.
Why? Because Japan is a homogeneous country. That's why. They don't deal with these people. And a new prime minister is going to deport all of them. So the leftists are just such a bad problem. I don't even know how to deal with them, honestly. And if you try not trying with it, they kill you.
Yeah.
A lot of problems like that, bro. Let's just be honest. I mean, they have a lot of problems with foreigners and Gaijins going around certain districts acting a damn fool, and they have someone.
What area were you talking about, Rayapa? I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to get ice cream because I'm a fat kid right now. What area were you talking about?
I forget which district it was. I don't know if it was in the Kyoto region. But, there's a lot of foreigners going around fucking with people over there. Like the geisha girls and shit. Taking photos and shit. Like people from America, people from the Western world in, parts of Europe and shit.
Asians don't fuck around with that shit. For sure. Oh, and one thing I'm trying to get caught up in the chat. Destiny. A lot of Kuwaitis own a lot of, and that's another problem. A lot of Kuwaitis, they own a lot of the flats in London. And so there's a housing problem. So the prices go up as well. And I'm like, well, shit, if they can afford it, they can afford it, right? But when you have a high congested area, so small, and you have a lot of foreign money there buying up all the places, it could be problematic for the Westerners, or excuse me, the Londoners that are local there to be able to find reasonable housing and home.
No, that's true. The Qatari government.
Under the category of as well. I just didn't think Nergis was a good negotiator.
I don't deny that there would be psychological benefits if I lived as a Muslim. If it affects 1 billion people and they seem to live lives as well, there must be some benefit that they're getting out of it. So, I'm not denying that. I just hope that, if I can grant you that there are psychological benefits to being a Muslim, that you can grant that, a lust for knowledge is good, that wanting atheism to be true, if atheism is true, is a virtue. Not that you should want atheism to be true if it's not true, but if it is true, you should want to believe it. I hope that you can have that principle in your heart.
Actually, that's a principle of our religion, Sam. Our religion, there's a statement that's attributed to the Prophet, but to the effect of that you should seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. That wisdom is the lost property of a believer. This is a core tenet of a core principle for a Muslim, that you should be seeking. The Quran starts out with Iqra. The first revelation was Iqra. It was read. And the reading here is not just reciting Quran, right? It's about seeking all knowledge. So that's why you see in Muslim civilization, that's what it produced, right? It produced the civilization that at its core had a nation that flourished in that region, a region that had been desert. Look, Sam, can you name any dynasty or civilization that came out of the Arabian Peninsula? Is there any archaeology?
I mean, the Arabians? No, it's just the Muslims.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, all of this region, which is ripe with, that region is like, there's so much human history there, right? Thousands of years of human history. The Persian Empire, which Nargis loves so much, thousands of years of history. The Roman Empire, thousands of years of history, all in that little region. But in this peninsula, right, not a shred of intellectual, production or civilization. Forget intellectual production. And yet, after Islam, it becomes the center, right, of intellectual learning, of which universities were first produced, right, from this region, from this civilization. Medicine, the golden age of astronomy and medicine and all that. Like, I'm not saying this is a proof, but it is an interesting outcome because the civilization is built on an intellectual foundation. And this, like, it's even more than just your general liking of knowledge. Like, it's deeper than that. Like, it's a core part of our practice as a Muslim to be seeking education, knowledge, truth and following that truth, because it's even more important to live by the truth that you arrive at than just to know it intellectually.
Didn't the development come when it moved out of the Arabian Peninsula? I mean, it moved out pretty fast.
Say that again?
Didn't the intellectual development happen when it moved out? I don't know. I'm asking you. I know that it moved out of the Arabian Peninsula pretty fast.
No, the Arabian Peninsula was the seat of it, right? And
But it moved out quickly, and
it never left.
Yeah, but was the intellectual development done in the Arabian Peninsula, or was it in the areas that moved out?
Intellectual development.
So it actually never left. So it's not like it moved somewhere else, and then intellectual development only happened in one region.
Well,
the entire civilization. Yeah, that's what I'm answering. The entire civilization, right, from the starting point of the.
Hey, because they raised my shit $2. Now you're talking about every paycheck in America. Every paycheck in America is getting an extra $2. You know how much fucking money this is? And so now it's like, whoa, guys. Now they're spending $100 billion here, $40 billion here, $20 billion there, $10 billion here. He's like, hey, chill the fuck out. And people are mad at the guy. Unity. Joe, I promise I'm right here. Unity. Why can't it just be as simple as this guy is just.
Why are you here?
What the hell? You brought me up.
Yeah, you here following my ass around again? Who you saw being here coming to this house? Oh.
And so this is the right side history to be on, so you're going to see a lot of that.
Hey, Nicholas, my name is Brian. People call me either Southern Boy or Southern Man or Dog. But hey, you can call me Brian. Or you can call me B.
What's up,
But
B?
Nicholas, Uma is like out of pocket, bruh.
Yeah, I agree. And Uma, what the hell?
What? What's out of the pocket?
Out of pocket means you're crazy.
My brain what?
Yeah, exactly.
My brain what?
Crazy.
Your brain is like a Majnun.
Yeah, exactly. When
I don't understand that.
he says,
It's NB for crazy.
So crazy is conscious, radiant, ambient, zealous, you.
not always.
She's trying to use my languages and my name.
What's up, though?
She literally told me everybody my name. That's funny.
I didn't. You said that yourself, Brian.
Oh yeah, my name is Brian Sellers. And yes, I do live in Dallas, Georgia.
Congressman.
Does it hurt your heart? Does it hurt your heart, the fact that I'm
You want to share the good news? That you had to put the blowing up the second mosque, you had to put it on hold.
We had a radical leftist judge that won't let us do it because she said these women so horrible. These women are going to be the downfall of every society. She said that a terrorist hasn't come out of this mosque yet. So we have 6 mosques left in South Sudan and we want to make it 0, but she wouldn't give us the green light. It's a horrible thing. These leftists, these women with their suicidal empathy are going to get us all killed. White, black, Asian, in between, doesn't matter. We're all going to die because of them. Because they don't have the stomach to do what's right.
Hey, I'm not discounting that one. I agree with you on that one. I mean, I think we need more women like KK, Patricia, various others.
True.
Listen, you're always right.
We need the less, like, fucking, I don't know.
Rima is a radical leftist woman, even though I like her. She's still a radical leftist woman.
See, I mean, I don't like the septum nose piercing.
What makes her
She's an idiot. Or you know what? Maybe idiotic would be the appropriate term.
Oh,
but I mean,
Lord. Can we not do that?
But
I think being nice to nice person and progress.
But I mean, like, again, like, he's right, though. Like, these are the ones that go to the ballot boxes, they get their tampons in there, they lift their fupas up, they put it on the desk, and then they vote down a fucking particular thing. And then and again, we're all subject to it. These are the motherless children that no one wants to go. They somehow have time in between.
They got those extra right eyes, the crazy eyes, had an abortion or two.
Yeah, and then they collect their tax dollars. They show up at every freaking town board meeting because it's the only thing going on in their lives. Because, in between the 9 cats that they got to feed, they're going to sit there and say, hey, I want to vote to make the world a better place. And we're all living with the ramifications of it. This is why, sometimes I think the testing, the shit that we do with voting at times, like, people really do vote against their interests because they don't bother to learn.
This is why the founding fathers didn't give women the right to vote, because they knew better. Because right now, I have a radical leftist canceling out my vote. So
we go back to that, you think?
No, give them the right to vote, but it's just don't marry them. But then they get more radical. Look at the last vote. It was like 60% of young men voted, and the number one issue was affordability to buy a house and raise a family. 88% of women from 18 to 29, my age group, voted the number one right was for an abortion. What, to abort my kids? That's your number one issue? These are terrible people we're dealing with. You don't understand. I don't think you guys understand this. When they say bring down the patriarchy, they mean it. We're dealing with radical leftist women. This is why they're single. This is why they're the most depressed community in the entire planet. Yes, they don't kill themselves as much, but these women are just so bad. Like, try talking to an 18 to 29-year-old radical leftist woman. They're the worst of the worst because they think they're doing something. If you find a cause, George Orwell said at the boss, it's always the young women are the most radical because they have nothing else going on for them. It's true. Because
I've never had a friend that's liberal. In all my years, from high school up, I've never been friends with somebody that's a leftist.
I was friends with someone that's a leftist, my friend Julia. And when the war happened in Gaza, I said, I want Israel to fight in Gaza. And then she sent me, wait a second, and then she sent me a long message being like, yeah, I've known you for like 10 years, but because you support Israel, I can't be friends with you. And I told her to go fuck herself. And then she messaged me like 4 weeks later being like, I want to be friends. And I told her to go fuck herself again. It's the same thing with these people. These are sick people. These are the same women that will cut off their entire families. They will cut off their friendships, they'll cut off everything, they'll abort a baby at 6 months old, and then they'll wonder when they're 34 and they've hit the wall why nobody wants to go for them. It's a horrible thing. You tell them the truth.
Well, I think that's one of the things that was after the 2024 election that I think was the stupid move was where you had a bunch of girls who shaved their heads. I mean,
Bro, they were fat and ugly anyway. They were doing it for attention. Nobody liked him anyway. That's why they could say
That's
that.
kind of a good point. Like, nobody was really champing at the bit to go, like, no one's going to slap that thigh and ride the wave in. No one's, like, first off, you're not getting between the knees. Like, as the flesh peels away. You're just, no, it's going to have Adam's honey. But I mean, like, no, and then they vote, and then they wear pussy hats on their head. And, like, people said this about voting, like, we didn't want to be a Democrat society. Like, no one said anyone
That's
ever.
why America is a republic. For a reason.
Yeah.
They
Because
knew.
we didn't want Bima's and Monica's to have voting rights. We really didn't want them to have a say in it because we knew that they would be retarded and that they would garner more retarded people to vote on retarded policies that other retarded people thought they should have up there. Like, I don't know, we should give driver's license to everybody who comes across the border regardless of their immigration status. Okay, what could go wrong here? Like, what is the point of doing that? Oh, maybe there's a reason why we don't do it, but these idiots vote for them. So, yeah.
No, it's true. Like, I've told you this many, many times before back in an Necro. The Democratic Party is a party of weak men and women. That's it. Angry women and weak men. Weak men that can't get pussy are Democrat. You see them, they weigh like 56 kilos, 120 pounds, weak men with the fucking... Have you ever noticed with Antifa? It's always like a skinny guy that looks like hasn't eaten in weeks, and it's always a fat bitch with a nose ring and the purple hair and everything else like that. Because they can't get women. These are terrible men. It's true. Have you noticed the men in Antifa are always so skinny, they haven't eaten a steak in like 3 fucking years. And the women are always overweight with a bull nose piercing. It's terrible.
I personally believe women should have equality because I want somebody who I can argue with, not just me.
No. You want people. Why do you want to argue with your woman?
Because I like showing them why I'm right.
No. Why do you want to argue with
the way their taxes? We can't make the taxes and
you want to come home from a whole day of work to argue with your woman, not to come home from a nice meal and just relax and watch the TV? What kind of man are you?
Yeah.
You want to come home to argue with your woman?
What kind of relationship is it if you guys can't discuss?
It's not a relationship, bro. See, men like you are gonna be taken over because you think women are the shit. The men are the prize. You wanna know why? Because we develop everything. We build the homes. We own the mortgage. We trade everything. Women are not the prize. You know what you're getting, Necro? You're getting used pussy, and you're proud of that. That's what you're getting. And you want to come home and you want to argue with that? Why do you want to have an argument with your missus?
So Mary Curry, she didn't do anything, didn't contribute to our society.
What? What even? What kind of men? What kind of education system do you have in America? What kind of men are... Why do you want to argue with your missus? Why? What does that benefit you?
I just said I would rather show them why I'm right than have them just, agree with me on it.
Go ahead.
What?
Paycheck and grab. What's the heaviest weight you guys have ever woken up next to?
Weight?
Yeah.
I fell asleep on Clubhouse one time too, and then I heard Bima and Monica speaking, so I'd say, 700-800 pounds? I mean,
oh my gosh.
I don't know. Let me see, like the heaviest weight would probably be when like Elizabeth was pregnant. That would have been, that was probably the biggest, but I mean, hey,
Look, you never been drunk at a bar and then just...
No. You know, the only time...
I'm sorry.
The only... Stop apologizing.
I just want her to know.
To a 225 pound... Wait a second. The only time you wake up beside a 225 pound woman is because you're broke and it's because you're ugly. That's it. And you have no other choice. That's it.
Yeah.
I like Bima. I don't know why you guys don't like her.
The heaviest...
I like Bima. She's just a radical liberal. But I like Bima.
The heaviest role...
Here's why I don't. Because here's why. Because again and again, she's proven to be intellectually inferior. She's like retarded. furthermore, she decides that, oh, I'm just innocent and I want to cry, and she plays the victim card, or tries to. It's really hard for fat women. It's like, you look at Roseanne Barr and you're like, dude, not only are you fat, but you hit the ugly tree. And then you want to play victim, like, okay, let's hear your spiel. And then it's like, well, look, yeah. Like, even in this room, like, oh, look at how Brad's picking on me. KK save him. Like, first off, KK has nothing to do with it. She don't control me. And last I checked, I don't think she's got a remote control for me. And furthermore, she's not in every room with you, so she doesn't know the backstory, nor do I call and tell her about it, because frankly, I don't give a shit. I have more important shit to talk with her about when I talk to her on the phone, and I have more fun talking about other things. Do you think I bring up Bima? You think you're that relevant? No. The only reason I started picking on you is because you opened your mouth the other day, and then you ran like the little cuck you are, and nobody gives a flying fuck what you think, what you feel. I don't care. I'm frankly just waiting for my tax dollars to drop down because you fucking choked on a fudge round, and now the world is in balance again. And I'm in a perfect day.
What is going on?
This is the typical. This is the
So I've seen Monica throw, she does the little play innocent. She'll play something like veiled racist
I did not
or whatever.
drop Bima, Elmo. Wait a second. Somebody said I dropped.
I tried to
I did not drop
decide if I'm
Bima.
going to
That
get
was
ice
not
cream
me.
or not.
I did it. Don't get ice cream. She'll attack you for that. Don't do that.
It was not me. Don't come.
I already told you it was me.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you want me to pull her up? God, all right, let me get the harpoon out there. Hold on, I'll bring her up, Elmo.
Beaver, what were you trying to say?
I've seen Monica, so what Brad's saying about Bima, I've never seen Bima do that. Maybe once, maybe.
I have.
But Monica, I've seen do that.
Do what? What have I done?
Well, Monica does do it all the time. Yeah, you're right.
I can't stand Monica.
Oh?
Monica's a piece of shit. Now, Bima is cool, but Monica's a fat
I like
trash.
Bima. I'm not saying I don't like Bima. I do just highly dislike Monica.
Oh, we'll like Bima, but we'll just be in a space and listen to a guy unprovoked just harass and demean another person.
Am I your
No,
girlfriend?
don't like me.
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
And not asking kindly. We can talk about this in private.
What's the point? What's the point?
Wait a minute. Let's try to squash this for once and all.
But you keep going on and on. And you bring
one time
into it.
I keep going on and on. Are you joking right now? Have you seen the chat? Have you heard Brad
bringing into it?
So this all started long ago when Brad was going after Monica, and Bima, you interjected and pissed Brad off. Is this correct?
No. Brad hated me because he likes to bully people, and I started asking him to stop. At first, it was a friendly stop. I would redirect him in conversation because we'd have good conversations.
That's what I just said, though. That's what I.
But no, you mentioned Monica. It had nothing to do with Monica. I knew Brad. I was familiar with Brad in other spaces long before I knew anything to do with Monica. And Brad would we'd be having a good discussion, and then he would just unload unprovoked, demeaning insults on people that are not attacking him, that are talking about a topic, and that's frustrating because it derails a good conversation. So I started.
You didn't like how he spoke. So I'm sure a lot of people don't like how I speak as well. So it's like, who are we to correct other people?
It's not about
I really don't like the way she speaks.
It's not about correcting. It's about insulting KK.
And I mean, we can just correct her about her thing. So, again, we can talk about it. I don't like the way she speaks. I think she sounds retarded. I hear bubble gum. I think she's catching on the bottom lid there. It's flapping up into her nose. I think it's like a walrus effect there. The elephant seals with that big snout that's hanging down. That's what I envision in my head here. Just slapping back and forth.
Well, see, what I've seen from Brad over the years, if you don't go at Brad, he only goes after people when he's provoked. Now, I know he provoked you today. You didn't say anything, came in here innocently. But the initial provocation,
His his provocations are just disagreements, political disagreements. So
No, they're not. No,
that's all that they are. That's all that they are, Brad. Brad, that's exactly.
Okay, now you can sit down there and you can stay down there. You fucking will.
Disagreements. Like, no one's gonna agree on everything.
First off, you fucking mentioned my kids, you fucking dumb cunt. You fucking labeled them and said, oh, blah, 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 and threw your spiel there. So I don't give a flying fuck. Like, I hope you choke to death on whatever fucking homeless cock you fucking insert in your mouth. I don't give a shit. Like, you can actually, you know what? Here we go. Let's do this. You can
I'm
go.
gonna let you handle this.
There you go. You can have that. Go ahead. You're done there. And I'll tell everybody else, do the same thing. But you want to come at me? Fine, come at me. I'm here all day long. You want to stand toe-to-toe with me? You want to debate me? Have at it. Some of you will win, some of you won't. You in the Anon account there, fucking beat me. You can sit there and be in your Anon account or whatever the fuck it is. But when you start to trash my kids and then you bring it up on the stage and then you go for like a while here and say how you're the victim and I just bully you and because I won't let it go because you decided to grade my kids, because you decided to hang out in a room with Monica and you decided to have that shit, I'm going to tell you, oh, she's here. She's right there. So is Monica. That's who's in the room. That's who's there. So you can say all these things you want to about how innocent you are, but the fact that you two fat fucking sows still exist on this planet, I wouldn't give a shit. I don't care. And you know what? I hope some fucking Muslim jihad drops a plane in your fucking house. Like, that's it. And I don't have to worry about kids. Because, quite frankly, you fat women, no one's breeding with. I land there.
You know, it's over. If somebody would ever threaten the children that I have, it wouldn't even be a conversation. If you took bullets, nobody talks about children. It's horrible. I didn't even know that. And I understand what you're talking about, but if somebody threatens children, it's just like you're getting 2 bullets. It's not even a conversation. The conversation is finished. I don't give a shit if you're a radical leftist and you hate men and you're overweight, which is horrible too. You should go to the gym. But going up there, this is why these people, they laugh when Charlie died. Because these chicks are just disgusting. So overweight and just, I don't know what they do for a living. Just hate on men. And they come up to children and everything. It's just
You're saying Bima hates on men though?
Yeah, of course, she's a radical leftist. I just want to say, I like Bima. Wait a second. I like Bima, frankly, but she's a radical leftist. I have nothing against her. It's not like or nothing, it's neutral. I've never talked to her, but she's a radical leftist, and I will not be friends with her in real life, but it's good to have a back and forth with her because she's so stupid. In her point of view.
Because I don't see her chat in the comments.
Yeah, she said she got kicked, but I probably shouldn't have got involved. I'm just trying to squash it once and for all. Because I thought it was just because she intervened against Brad when he was going after somebody, which was what I was going to say.
It's like
that was the mistake.
Yeah, you can't be Captain Save-A-Co and try to tell him how to speak just like anybody else, right? And then I've asked her multiple times, please don't insert me in this argument. If you want to talk about it, I'll talk about it in private. The next day, never heard from her. And for the record, for everyone's listening in this room, I'm not going to go against Brad, okay? If you have a problem with Brad, you go handle it with fucking Brad. I'm not going to sit there and get in whatever. So don't expect me to go attacking Brad and going against my clubhouse bestie, okay?
Bro, I attack Brad all the time.
I attack Brad all the time too. I'm the meanest person on Clubhouse with Brad. Are you kidding me? I tell him he's ugly every single day.
Me too. I attack him all. Brad has a shoulder on him. Like he's a real man. That's why I respect. Wait a second, Necro. I respect Brad because he's a real man. I've had many conversations with him where me and him don't agree or disagree or whatever. But he's always a gentleman. He can tell me to fuck up. I tell him to fuck up. It doesn't get emotional. And we don't go to the gutter type, all the bullshit. Like, that's why I respect people like that. And
if you, whatever, like, there is something really nice about kind of a live and let live mentality, which is why I think a lot of people are drawn to it. But I wanted to return to a point, which is the thing about, you don't think that this looks like the norms of the day. But if someone wrote a holy book during the Victorian age, they'd be super obsessed with Victorian things that they were obsessed with. And if it was written during today, it'd be obsessed with gender pronouns and not using slurs. And if it was written during the, different ages, different like obsessions and things they take for granted and things they focus on. And the things, even if the Quran is better than the things of its day, it still has sort of conceptual categories and things it takes for granted and topics of discussion that would make sense to an Arabian Bedouin guy, but wouldn't make sense to me, which is why it feels so alien when I read it, because the categories that it uses to think about the world are just very foreign to how I would think about these matters. And so, yeah.
That's interesting because I think you're right. There are some references in the Quran which are contextual. In their context is referring to something specific in that time and place. Like, for example, the burial of daughters, right? So you could think, oh, who buries their daughters? That's not something we do. We don't go around when a girl is born and we bury her. But you know what the interesting thing is? One of the biggest plagues